This is Chazara of Gemara and Eruvin Daf Yomi, and of course we're learning for the Chodesh Elul, sponsored as Fuhr Shleim Shtan Teva Bas Esther, as well as the Chosadim Nishmas as the Rezel Bas Rameir. We pick it up on the bottom of Yochesim and Beis, about 8 lines from the bottom, middle of it. I got it over here of Yirmi ben Elazar, middle of a bunch of statements. Remember Yirmi ben Elazar. Call Bayish and Nishmayin by Divrei Torah Balayla, any house that they say Divrei Torah at night, showing on Echra will not be destroyed. Remember the Pasuk says, V'loyamar Elokai. I say nice and Zmiras Balayla. Those who Zmiras Balayla they learn at night, they're not going to say Elokai. They're not going to cry out to Hashem. He says one from the day of the Beis Hamikdash destruction will be enough to deal with the two ices of Hashem's name, Shemer Kol Hashem, Ka Luka, referring to Ka, the two-letter name of Hashem. When Bavel goes up, the neighbors go up. When Bavel goes down, the neighbors go down. This Bavel is cursed. This we see that everything, there's no more wasteland. All the animals are running barren. But when Shaiman is destroyed, then the neighbors do better. They'll say it. We see that it turns into a karam, a vineyard. If someone is obligated to get killed by the king, we put a piece of wood in his mouth. We don't want it to curse the king. He's quiet. That he's silent to Hashem. Not only is he quiet, that he praises Hashem. The person views it if he's mark of a carbon, he did something wrong, and now he sacrifices, he gives up his life to Hashem. That he pays back a nether. What does that pasuk mean? The Gemara explains. What does that mean? Someone is over on the words of Hashem. They dig deeper in Gehenim. He's crying. As a din, that the person is mastik the din. So we see that a person, even though he did something wrong, at the end of the day he doesn't have ten, he doesn't complain against Hashem. You have a danta, you have a schisi, you have a chayavta, you have a tekanas. Gehenim, they're shining in tzaddikim. When the person is mastik the din, he says, I'm deserving of it. Says the Gemara, is that tshuva? Don't even do tshuva when they're sitting at the gate of Gehenim. It doesn't say in the past. They are sinners right now. They're still sinners, so it's just that they don't do tshuva. Says Mar Laylam Laikash. If someone does an idol, that's what he doesn't do tshuva. This is logical. If you're not going to see this differentiation, it comes out that we can have a steer Rish Lakish himself. Israel, the Gehenim does not burn him up just like the Mizbeach Hazav. Dinner, it's one little thickness of a dinner of Zav. The fire doesn't burn him up. The Mizbeach mitzvahs they were filled up with mitzvahs of Erim and Shnemer Kibel Erim and Rakosech. That we're not empty. There's so many mitzvahs that we have. Even the empty ones of Klai Zomalei mitzvahs are filled with mitzvahs. Kiriman Allah is not going to be burnt up. So if not, you're going to have to say it's a steer Rish Lakish. So we must answer. One is Paisha Yisrael, one is Paisha Abad Chavim. He's going to go to Gehenim. It means for that moment. And Avram Avinu is going to come and take him out of Gehenim. Bar, except for Yisrael Shabbat, someone who sleeps with a Goyis, the Mishcha Arlasai, then if his Arla is extended, he doesn't look like a yid, he loses bris milah, and Avram Avinu will not recognize him. Masla Rav Kahana, 1 second. You're telling me that a ha poishim, they're sinners right now, therefore they don't do tshuva, even at the gates of Gehenim. So Hashem takes us out of Mitzrayim, the Masik Mapiku. Hashem still thinking is out. He did it back then. It was in the past. Ella the Asik Vapikach. And I'm the Bishis who argues Rish Lakishu, and he argues and he says that's not true that they don't do tshuva. The 3 openings again. The desert, the sea in Yerushalayim. The midbar, the save Kayrach V'Yerdua Aim. They went into the depths of Biyam in the ocean. He cries out to Hashem from the bed and from the belly. Yerushalayim. There's the Tanur there's an R in Sion, and a Tanur in Yerushalayim. The very small Asher R Sion to Gehenim. Yerushalayim Zubis Gehenim. Pursue Lakas. No other openings. Levi. Amar Tanu Dvei Miriam B'Dvei Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai Shtei Tamaris Yesh Begei Ben Henoim. There's two Tamaris in the valley of Ben Henoim. The smoke the smoke that goes up between them. Zui Sheshanim Nisini Baris like Shiris. This is the Hara Baris that's kosher for a lulav. Zui Bischa Shal Ganim. So we see another opening of Ganim. Says Mar Doman Yerushalayim. No, that's opening of Yerushalayim. Marvin Shuban Levi Zayin Shem V'Dish Ganim. There's 7 names. V'Eluhain Shaol Avdam Ber Shachas Barshayin V'Tetoin Salmaves V'Eretz Atachtis. Now we prove each other's 7 names. Shaol Dechsevim Betim Shaol V'Shavati V'Shamati Koilis. We saw from Yain Avodayin Dechsevai Tubar B'Karev V'Chastecha Menascha. Are we going to tell over in the graves B'Avodayin Ber Shachas? What's the name of Ber Shachas? Let's give those Azunasha. He doesn't leave it. Sola Shal Lo Sitin Chazidcha Leroy Shachas. He doesn't be able to see the Chasadim. Ubar Shayin V'Tetoin Dechsev Yalan Bar Shayin V'Tetoin. We see both those in that pasuk. V'Tzal Maves Dechsev Yeshu Yichoysh V'Tzal Maves V'Eretz Tachtis. Yeshu Yichoysh V'Tzal Maves V'Eretz Tachtis Gemaru. That's a look which we've seen. If you like, there's only 7 names. V'Yaganim. That people go there Iskehenim for morality, but it's not a name, it's just a description of Gehenim. But you get Tivata. No, it means that when the Yitzhahar is Mefata, you introduce you, then you go there, but again, it's not a name, Hashem, it's a descriptive term of Gehenim. Gan Eden, where's the entrance of Gan Eden in Beretz Yisrael, Beishan Bischai, in Barva, Beis Karim Bischai, in Beis Nar, the Mezan Bischai, different entrances potentially for Gehenim. He would praise the Beiruz over Yamina, Rav Mishal Beiri, the Harpana. So back in the Mishnah, we said in the Mishnah that the area between these 2 corner pieces is the area for 2 groups of cattle to walk through. Pshita, of course, and then we said they're tied and not untied. Pshita, keep the done like shures that they're tied. Of course they're not untied. Mao the time I would have thought Kishuras Kain Kishuras. Mamish not actually tied. Kamash Shlam Mitaris, they actually tied. Actually, one group goes in, one group goes out. Tana Rivkan and the a group goes in, 3 or 4, as we'll see in a moment, and a group comes out. Says how big is the length of a cow? 2 amas, that's going to be the length between the well and the corners. How thick, how wide is the cow? 1 2/3 amma. So what's that? Now the Gemara doesn't match. Rameir all that's like 10 amas. If you do Kishlosh is like 13 amas. Ukarbas like 14 amas. Says, well, what's going on over here? Kaser, Hasaravan, it's 10 amas. Should the Bible say Seva Kishlosh Esrei, so it said Kaser. Kishlosh Esrei Tveavan, it's not 13 according to Rav Yehuda, it's more than that. Should the Bible say Karbas like 14. Karbas it's not actually 14. Amar Ababi says Kishlosh Esrei Vienam Agir Zarbas, it's between 13 and 14. We know the secret, it's 13 and a third. Amar Ababi Bar Shmai now the Kudamalai Pligi Dlebinam shooting. If the bar is 8 plus the 2 on either side for the cow is 8 and 2 is in a 4, is 12, minus 1 of either end is 10. Says Rav Papa, everyone agrees you do not need the pasta between it, because everyone agrees 10 is okay, is narrow enough. But if the pit is 12 amais, 12 plus 2 plus 2, 12 plus 4 is 16, minus 2 is 14. Even Rav Yehuda agrees you need a piece in between because it's too wide. Keep ligi, what's the machlekes? Mishmaina, actually between 8 and 12. The Rameir beat him shooting, the Rav Yehuda shoot him, because according to Rameir it's bigger than 10, according to Rav Yehuda it's less than 13, and therefore you're not going to need according to Rav Yehuda. Rav Papa, Micah Mashal, what's the chiddush Rav Papa? Tanina, Tamish. So Brisa, once we learned that the width of the cow, then we know all these numbers. Our Papa Brisa, Shmiel, Lev, Kamash, Lanka Brisa, and he's going to teach us like the Brisa. The Gemara continues, and the Gemara says, Baimini, Abayimi, Rabba, a bunch of questions about Yas Rabba. We'll start a few of them today. Herech, but Yom Dikishib, shooting the Rameir Mao. According to Rameir, you have to have a door opening, a maximum of 10 amais. So we said, if you have too much, what do? You put a pass in the middle. Says Gemara, what if you lengthen the side corners? Does that work? I'm like, says you have to increase the basin. My lav, the Marach, but Yumdin. So Gemara thinks the Havamina is what that means is you extend the corners. Like the Mavshav Shooter means you put in pieces in between. What's Bilvad? Says okay, so you're right. Make that the wording of the Mishnah. So the first lashon of the Gemara says what? That it means that you put in the pieces in between and you do not extend the corners. A second lashon. My lab the Mavshav Shooter, and you put pieces in the middle. Like the Marach with Yom, you extend the corners. Now the Gemara says it's logical to say you extend the corners. From the fact that it said that you extend the pasin, shmamina, that you're yarba, you extend them, so we see that you're extending the corners. Machlik is to the shinies. Second question. According to Yehuda, the maximum is 13 and a third. So do you extend the corners, or you put a piece in between? How close can it be the amount of the head and the body of the cow to amis? How far away? If you look Rav Yehuda, based the same motor use, based the same master, only up to 2 saw. Amrulay the Chachamim. Said to Rav Yehuda, you have to Maida b'dir v'zara muksa. Are you not Maida v'chadzer? Afilu bas chameshes gurin, afilu bas asar gurin. It could be 5, 10 gurin big. Shemoter. Amalan Rav Yehuda b'san zu mechitza ve'elu pasin. That's because the mechitza best it's pasin. Ve'em isa says Zimar zu mechitza. And if Rav Yehuda that you extend the corners, that's actually a mechitza. So it's a proof says Zimar you put something in between me by lay. Haki gomer no, it's no proof. Zutar mechitza le'al parsa seh be'esev ve'elu toiras pasin le'al parsa seh b'shlosh hasrei amo shlish. Just means the toir that Allah is of it. But I mean, one last one. Tell him it's like it. Asar mitoch arba. Nidin misham diyuman eina din misham diyuman. Amalei didn't do it. Shimon Elazar Oimer. Hayz Hashem Evan Meruvas. You have a cornerstone. Ryan Kol Shid Chalik Bishva Amalekan Amalekan. Nidin misham diyuman. If Shimon Elazar says you could cut it up. If you have an nama, you're good to go. If not, nidin misham diyuman. Shobin Avisham Mebraika. He extends it to the next level. Oimer. Hayz Hashem Evan Agula. If you have a circular stone in the corner. Ryan Kol Shid Chalik B'Techakek B'Techalek Bishva Amalekan Amalekan. Nidin misham diyuman. If not, nidin misham diyuman. Micah Mifki. What is this machlok? Yes, Maris of a Chadra and Amrino. If we have a square, then we can say it's one by one. We can just cut up the corner. And the other man, the Amr, argues and says Trey Rayan Loy Amrina. Marsavar, I feel Trey Rayan. I'm sorry, Nami Amrinon. So that is going to be the same machlok as by us. When you have this towel, mislak, and we have this man that goes up, you say Trey Amrin because you have to first square it off, and then you have to make the corners. That's we told him this machlokes. We'll pick it up from here tomorrow.